What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video, and today we're going to talk about road upgrades. Now, I've done a couple of videos about this, but a lot of you are having trouble understanding exactly how it works and how to maneuver your road upgrades around if you wanted to move stuff or just getting those 3 roads to go red. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then you might want to go and watch the road upgrades video, the one that says never upgrade your roads again. Okay, so when I had done this, I had done it on my cactus map because that was the one I had the most room on. So theoretically, for those of you who have no clue what's going on, essentially what we're doing is there's 2 ways to deal with roads in this game. Well, 3, but we're not going to pay for them. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to set the roads up to never need upgraded again without having to pay for them, right? And without having our happiness affected. So many of you know, especially if you've seen some of my tips and tricks videos, that if you were to pick up a building along that stretch of road and place it elsewhere, then it would get rid of that notification, right? So the way that the traffic works in this game is it's accumulated based off of a lot of things, actually. I thought it was just pop, but it's not. It also goes based off of items laid down on the road, right? And so you can only have 3 roads that are red at any one time. Okay, so let's say that we had put these here, see? And let's say that these 3 roads were red. Unless I pick something up on these roads or upgrade them, they're going to remain red until I deal with them. So the idea here is that you're going to take 3 little roads and you're going to place them, far away from the homes, right? And you're going to put stuff on them until they accumulate up enough traffic. Once they go red, you don't touch them ever again, right? Now, you have to make sure that you want it to be there for a long time. Because here's what's going to happen, okay? When these 3 roads go red, if you pick anything up or move anything off of these roads, it's going to take away that notification. When that happens, it's going to automatically jump to a road in which you've been neglecting, the one with the most traffic on it, right? And since you've been neglecting it for a really long time, it's going to jump to one of your your high populated areas. And so you don't want that to happen. Now, there is a way to move stuff around when the time comes, but it's going to be very, very tricky. So what people are having trouble with is getting the traffic on those 3 roads, right? So the first 2 are really easy to get. And what you'll notice is you'll get a notification here in the top right corner, right? Now, I had seen one guy, and he had put his factories, like, let's say that this was his setup here. He put the factories like this, okay? And then he had a dash right here. And then he had a main road yeah, I'm not going to do it or I'll screw my thing up. But let's just pretend that this one had 2 spaces. So he had his factory sitting between these 2 roads here. Now, if this one would have went red, the moment that he would have picked this factory up to move it, because he only had 3 slot factories, he would have upgraded his factories and the roads would have went away, right? And that would have created a problem. So when you click your little road symbol here, you see here how these 2 are red and these ones are yellow, okay? These are going to remain yellow. Nothing's going to go red over here. Now, where's my other red road? Because you can only have 3, so I got to look for it. So there's my 3rd one, right? Now, as you can see, I've just been experimenting in this top right corner. So essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to get these 3 roads to go red, and a lot of people are having trouble with the 3rd road, right? So the 3rd road took me and another player in my group. It took us about 2 weeks to get that one to go red. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do to speed up this process, right? And the first thing is making sure that when you place it down, that you're putting a lot of stuff in between and near the roads that you're not going to want to move. But the second thing is, let's say that this was the top corner that I wanted to work in, right? Now, ideally here, what you want to do is you want to get enough population within the vicinity of that without having your population affected, but only for the time being. So hypothetically, let's say that I'm going to set up a kind of like a preview spot because I already have it working on this city. So let's see. I'm going to move all this shit around. First, you want to decide what it is that you want. Like, do you want the 3 dashes? Or do you want it to go based off of, like this road here, how it has the long road and then the 3 dashes? Or you can do the 3 dashes out in the middle of nowhere. Now, what I'd like to do, if I was going to do this on my city, what I would do is I would put it out in the area where I was going to put like a lot of trees or water or animals, and I would blend it in. And I have a video all about blending it in, and you can't even see it once I'm done. Okay. But the trickier part is getting it to go red. Now, if you're going to want to blend this in, now would be a good time. So let's say that you are doing your road, and one of your roads is right like this. Okay. So let's say that you put your building on that road. This is your building that you wanted, okay? And then you're going to take your trees and you're just going to kind of, place them around like this. Now you can do like a park or more trees or whatever it is that you want to do, right? So here's essentially what we're trying to do here. We are going to doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to kind of show you guys the gist, get the overall idea here. So the more pop that you can boost around this road, the quicker, the better. That's the faster it's going to go red. Okay, so like so, right? Now you can't even tell that that's there and it all looks well, and you can do this around your city without it looking really ugly. See how I have these buildings here, these homes? This means that if I click on the building like this, anywhere that this building right here touches is going to affect your happiness. Okay, so I need something that is far enough away from the homes that it's not going to affect their happiness. But let's say, and this is kind of where it gets a little tricky. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place your homes close around this thing. Okay. So temporarily, let's say I wanted to place these homes right here, right? So they're not touching this road, but they're within the vicinity. The population within the vicinity is going to make this want to be upgraded quicker. Then once this road goes red, I pick up the homes that are not on this road, okay? So it's not affecting it. And I'm moving it back. And this way, I lower the population around it, but not directly on it, so the road upgrade doesn't go away. You see what I'm saying? So now in this case, this layout that I have right here would not work because obviously my homes are way too close to the Eiffel Tower here. But pretend that these homes don't exist, okay? Pretend that my homes are all the way back to here. And I just temporarily move them closer to get the population in that city. And then once it's done, once that road goes red, I can move my homes backward, back where they belong. But the most important thing that you have to remember is to not place anything on that road that you don't. If you want to move it, don't place it on there. Because the moment you pick it up, that's it. Your notification goes away and you got to start all over. So like, for instance, this area here, okay? This road is red. Let's say that I wanted to get this road red. instead of that one, right? I know I had somebody in the YouTube comments talking about how they just said screw it and they upgraded. Don't do that, okay? So it's always doable. So essentially what you want to do, now let's say I wanted to get this one red, right? Obviously this one's red. So this one can't go red until this one's dealt with. So what you want to do is, if you have any roads that are wanting upgrades right now, rotate stuff off of them. So if I wanted to get this done with, I would pick up one of these parks and move it away, and that notification would go away. And you're going to have to keep track. You're going to have to check it regularly and make sure, like, okay, now this one went red. Now I'm going to pick something up from here and move it. And you're just going to keep rotating stuff around and keep putting stuff closer to the area that you want to go red. So, for example, this situation I got going on here. Now, if I was to pick this up, oh shit, I really hope that doesn't fuck my stuff up, you guys. I'm gonna be so pissed. Please don't fuck up. Oh, whew. Okay, cool. Good. It didn't do that. All right, cool. So, as you can see, these here, these little dashes, I could bulldoze this area, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it the way that it is for now. But a lot of you are having trouble getting these laid out, right? So here's another benefit that I wanted to talk about when doing this, okay? Because a lot of people say, oh, well, I like, my roads upgraded. There's a specific road I like. Absolutely, I agree. So why you still want to do it this way, though? And I'm going to explain why. A couple of reasons here. So in the beginning of the game, you're going to get into this cycle where you upgrade a house and then you need services, right? And then you're in this constant cycle, this repetitive cycle where you're going broke every time you upgrade. And every time you increase your pop, you go broke and broke and broke, okay? So we're going to eliminate some of the cost early on in the game, which is road upgrades. Now, for me, I like the Omega roads the best, but if I wasn't picking Omega roads, I personally like the ones with the trees down the center. Now, here's the thing with this. Would you rather have your roads never need upgraded and never affect your happiness, but also you're able to upgrade your roads at your convenience, when you have the money for it, and to the upgrade in which you desire? So let's say that you're like me and you like a specific style of road. By setting your roads up like this, it allows you to do that at your own pace, but it allows you to stop at that road upgrade. So as many of you know, you might get a road upgraded to the point where it's like, okay, I really like this one, right? But then population rises and it wants you to do another upgrade. And now you're upgrading it to something you don't like. By doing this road trick, you can upgrade all of your roads whenever the hell you want to, and you can stop whenever the hell you want to, right? So you can have all your roads matching. You can have no roads upgraded. It's totally up to you if you do it this way. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in this vicious cycle. And let me tell you guys, road upgrades are not fucking cheap. They're extremely expensive. And I've been playing this game a really long time. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to spend well over $20 million in roads over the course of your game if you play like this. And what ends up happening is, as you progress through the game, you're going to move shit around constantly, right? And you're going to be bulldozing roads, and then you're going to have to upgrade them again, and you only get half your money back, right? So if it were me, I would utilize this little kind of a glitch type tip, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a cheat, but I would definitely utilize this. It's going to alleviate a lot of cost early on in the game, and it's going to allow you to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do in your game without having to deal with this bullshit, okay? So now, how is this not affecting your happiness? Because your happiness isn't being touched by anything on this road. However, if I was to leave this here and this one was to go red, because it's touching the homes around it, it is going to cause my happiness to go down. That is why I'm telling you guys to put the homes near it, but not on that road. Get the population in that area up, get that road to go red, and then move the homes away from it. But it's like I said, it's crucial that you guys do not put anything that is going to need moved on this road. The very moment that you pick this thing up and place it elsewhere, that road upgrade is going to go away. It's going to go right back to normal, okay? And then, like I said, all the other roads that you've been neglecting, you're going to be like, oh shit. And it's going to go to this one, and you're going to pick something up, and then it's going to go to this one, and it's just going to be a pain in the ass. You're going to have to rotate everything out now, which we're going to do someday, okay? I promise. I am going to show you guys what to do in that situation. But if you're in that situation right now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take everything on your map and push it to one side. All your homes, push them all to one side. You're going to bulldoze any roads that you don't want or don't need or don't plan on using or whatever the case is. And then you are going to have to again, go through what you did here, right? And you're just going to have to pick up and move stuff around until you can get those roads red. Now, if it were me, the best system that I think that would work would be, first off, depending on what kind of map you want, what kind of landscape. But this right here, if you look, that you can't even tell it's like that. So it makes it look really nice, but you can end up with stuff like this, right, over here, where if these were the roads to go red, if I was to pick this up, it would go away. So I'm glad that these ones didn't go red first, right? All I would have had to do is pick it up and move it elsewhere. But I can bulldoze these now, right? So this one here, if I was to place this here, see how it doesn't touch any homes, right? So this one won't affect my happiness at all. Now, as you can see, I have 99% happiness. So something here is dropping my happiness. Now, what that something is, I'm not entirely sure yet. I'd have to kind of dink around and try to figure that out. So there's honestly a lot of things it could be. It could be something is, where's my storage unit? Let's see. Jesus, criminy. Whew. I've been making these things like crazy because I'm trying to get my last map upgraded here. Okay, so if I was to put it over here, right? Here's exactly what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So I got my thing there, and my happiness is not being affected. And I'm going to put homes as close as I can to this area without touching the road that's on it. And then I'm going to surround it with whatever it is that I want on it, whether it be a park or whatever the case may be. Just know that any road that's connected to this road is going to make it take longer. So the bigger the road, the longer it takes to need upgrading. The whole idea here is that the road is really small. Now, when you look at the road, now the impression that I was under before doing this little, experiment or whatever, was that the population rises on the roads. And that is what creates traffic, which is what makes the roads need upgrading, right? But we've proven that you will have no pop boost from... Okay, so I know which one it is. It's this one here. So I've proven that you can have no pop boost at all near this area, right? There's no population whatsoever on this road. But it's red. So what's causing it? So it appears as though the game recognizes buildings placed on the road. So it's not necessarily calculating just population. It's also calculating just items placed there. So try to get those 3 roads red. Now, you got to be patient with the last one. like I said, that one took a while to accumulate. But what you don't want to forget about it, okay? Because you're going to have this notification up here permanently, until you get that third road red, don't stress over it. Like, you're going to have to check it every couple of, like, I'd say every hour or two is when I would check it. I would check it and make sure that the 2 roads that you want to go red are red, and make sure that there isn't a third one red that you don't want to be red. So if something over here is red and you don't want that one to be red, then you're going to have to pick something on that road, pick it up and move it, okay? Don't upgrade it. Don't do any of that. Just pick it up and move it. Don't place it back down immediately in that location though, okay? Just keep rotating stuff around. If it's becoming that much of a problem and you can't seem to get it figured out, then, I mean, I would rotate whatever it is that you have sitting on that road. Okay, it should work though. And like I said, if for whatever reason you can't get it to work within like 2 weeks, then I would re-evaluate, you know, what buildings you have on those roads. But it should be fine. It should work just fine. And once it's done, it's done. You don't have to do shit ever again. So until you're ready to move that stuff around, you should never have to touch it again. Okay? So again, though, you're going to be neglecting all of your other roads. It's not going to affect your happiness or anything like that. But like I said, the moment you move shit, whew, you're in for a fucking world of hurt, you know? So try to make it as permanent as possible, or at least be prepared for the outcome of what's going to happen if you were to move something. So I'm doing a walkthrough on my tablet, and we're kind of dealing with the same thing in the walkthrough. I haven't got that far with the walkthrough yet, but I am going to explain this again during the walkthrough, but it's going to be a little more, it might make a little more sense there because you're actually going to physically be watching it happen. Okay. So if you're still confused, like I said, you can hit me up, and on Facebook, you know how to get hold of me on Facebook, SimCity Buildit, MissyAnne You can join us on Facebook. We have a group on the game. RQMKNG is our group code. If you guys want to join in, we do have a few more slots available. Okay? All right, you guys, I am going to get off here and get this walkthrough part 4 done, hopefully.